Okay, thanks, Jay, a lot for joining me today, man, and having this conversation. So, for the person watching this video, if you could just share your name, where you live at, and what the farm operation looks like.
Yep, my name is Jay Baxter. I'm in Georgetown, Delaware, the southernmost county in Delaware. We're about 15 minutes from the beach.
Okay, which is crazy from people like me who live in the Midwest. Okay, because before you came in, I was like, "There's farming in Delaware,
Right, right.
right?" So, okay, awesome, man. Well, let's see. Tell a little bit about your operation. You got hired guys that work for you, big family operation, right?
Yep, we're a family corporation, so we've got shareholders that is all family in a corporation. Got a couple employees. Um, my sister and I are the ones that are here on a daily basis running the operation. So we kind of have a bit of a, I'll say, partnership between she and I and how things get run and how they get operated.
Okay.
We're farming grain crops, corn and soybeans, along with processing vegetables of sweet corn and lima beans and edamame, farming about 2,500 acres, as a matter of fact, here in
Yeah.
little old Delaware. We also grow chickens. So we've got a capacity of about 175,000 broiler chickens, and we grow them for about 9 weeks, and then they go to market. So we're growing approximately 1.7 million birds a year here on
Wow.
our farm.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
besides that, got a couple businesses on the side as well. My wife and I own a small farming operation that we're trying to expand just for the legacy purpose for our own family. And it's a way to diversify in different things that we started doing way before Legacy Farmer that's really helped us to gain focus. And we also have a 9 house greenhouse operation growing uh, fresh potted plants that go on the wholesale market and go to a big box store to be sold as decorative plants for people's yards.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason I asked you that question and asked you to expand because you said, "Oh yeah, we farm in Delaware." Well, now it's like, no, we have a very
We
sizable
really legit, yeah, we're not gardening, right?
we have a lot of different stuff going on, and we're a very sizable family operation. So, okay, awesome, man. Well, so we'll jump right into it, Jay. So, before coming into the legacy farmer, what was not working in life and business, okay, and just everything across the board that caused you to fill out the application, get on the phone with me, and ultimately make the jump.
So when I got out of college and came back to the farm, which was always what I wanted to do my entire life, but when I got out of college and came back to the farm, the ag economy was growing, and I got on that train in a growing ag economy and knew that the end was coming to that uptick, but didn't know how to navigate it. And there's no next generation for me. All the next generation has passed away, and so I'm left to navigate this next phase of life on my own, and was starting to get a little concerned as to what that looks like and how we navigate through it. We knew we had some things that we needed to put in place, but we did not know how to implement them. We're trying to figure out how to carry this operation on to the next generation, but do it responsibly and not go broke in the meantime. And that was a very, very scary part. You know, spending multiple hours in the field all night long, all day long, trying to build something, not knowing whether it's going to be here for another year, let alone another generation. It was an awful lot of stress to carry. And I came across this and literally filled out the application one night while filling up my planner at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I remember that now. Now you say that because our first mission, yeah, I remember you saying that now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, so what's been the biggest thing that you've noticed change either personally or business wise, since joining the network and the community and everything we have going on here?
So I've been able to gain focus. I can now, the night before or the morning of, I can zero in on what the day is going to be, and I can manage the help and my team members. I can manage them and get them headed in a right direction for the day or for the week, and that's something that I'm still growing into. But it has been a huge change, and I've seen morale change. Now they're not wondering, oh, what are we going to do today, boss? It's more like, all right, we're here to plug into this thing and roll on for another week and stay focused and get things done.
Yeah.
I've been able to pinpoint my focus in more managing the business. It's kind of some of the stuff that we don't like to do, but I understand now how necessary it is to do it. And I'm focused on mastering that part of the business.
Yeah. Well, what do you feel, what do you feel, I guess my question is, how did Legacy Farmer help you gain more focus and build camaraderie and stuff like that? Like, what were the things that actually you heard or listened to or trainings you went through? Like, what was it that shifted for you and made the change start happening?
There was a lot of cold truths that I had to eat.
Okay.
I had to understand this is where, you talk about the leaks in our operation. This is where the leaks are. And, I'm screwing up. Somebody had to sit me down and hit me on the head with a two before and say, no, this is not right. You're screwing up here. And here's why. And here's why it's screwing up your entire week or your entire spring or whatever, because you're not focusing on what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
And let that crap do its own thing. But you need to focus on what's most important. And wow, it's so enlightening just to have somebody tell me, no, stop being stupid. You're really messing up. It's like that. It's like that really good friend that can tell you the cold hard truths that you need to hear.
Yeah. Did you feel like before you were just kind of running around trying to do everything and there was never any inner structure?
Yeah. Literally like a chicken with my head cut off.
And you see those every day.
Well, not necessarily, but.
All right, perfect. Well, so out of everything we do, I mean, you've been a Legacy Farmer for what, more than 6 months now, hasn't it been?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
out of everything we do, what would you say your favorite thing is?
My favorite thing in all of Legacy Farmer is the communication between me and my peers, the same other group of men that are involved in this, that are in different steps of their operation. Either they're a little bit behind me and we're throwing them a rope to pull them up, or it's the guys that are on 3/4 of the way up that mountaintop and they're dragging us up behind them, saying, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Or this is what's worked, or that's what worked. The team meetings that we have once a week, I'm lost without them now.
Okay. Why do you feel that is?
It's just, it's like you get to meet up with some of your best buddies that, that kind of thing that we grew out of, or we should grow out of in life, but it's still that, hey, this is what's working for me this week, or here's where I really screwed up. It is so empowering to know that you can help someone else out to not make the same mistakes you made.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so out of, all those conversations and everything you've had there, I mean, looking at how much progress you've made and stuff like that, do you feel like there's any other farm groups in the US that have the type of conversations that we have inside of our groups?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I've been involved in a lot. I've been involved in the Young Farmers and Ranchers. I'm still involved in the Farm Bureau. I was president of my state soybean board. All of this, but no, it's all. Well, this is how big I am. This is how big I am, and I've got this much ground, and I made this sale, and no, it's you know, there is nothing like this that I have found in anything that I've done.
Yeah. Ego aside, we're just here to help and grow, and it doesn't matter what level you are. If you've been farming for 4 decades or you've been farming for 4 years, it does not matter.
Yeah. It doesn't matter whether we're 20,000 acres or 200 acres growing fava beans. I don't know.
Yeah. Which is what's been so cool for me too, Jay, is, growing up in Kansas, I knew wheat, corn, milo, cattle. That's about it. It's just super cool to see from California clear up to Delaware how different everybody's operations are, but also how all the problems are the same.
Yes, they're all rooted in the same spot.
All rooted in the same spot. So, okay, well, so let's pretend for a minute that, I guess the way I'd say it is I remember on our first call, you were kind of nervous. Like you were like, hey man, I've been watching a lot of stuff. Like, this is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. Like you were kind of nervous taking the jump. Now that you've been in for 6 months, imagine somebody else is in the same place you were. And they were sitting on the fence. What would you say to them?
Oh yeah. I mean, I literally kept asking, what's the catch? What are you going to ask me for? Or, am I going to have to buy certain herbicides from you, or this big group that we're group buying in things, or that was what I was thinking that I'd end up getting myself into, and I was very leery of that. And no, this is that best friend that can look right straight at you, straight in the eye, and tell you that you're wrong, that it's a terrible decision, and is confident enough in telling you that, knowing that you're not going to punch him in the face.
Yep.
That's what this group is.
But you're doing it too because one, you know what the financial cost is going to be. We talk about finances all the time. You know what the cost is going to be in time and energy, and then you also know what the cost is going to be with the family long term as well.
Yes.
And making those mistakes.
Right. I mean, we've seen marriages saved in this group.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it, our wives half the time hate what we do because we're self-centered, narcissistic little boys with great big toys, right? And this is such a reality check for us as a group that, I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so what would you say to someone sitting on the fence?
I would say don't sit on the fence anymore. Go one side of the fence or not. The fence really hurts you behind.
Yeah.
That's make that switch.
Yeah.
Make that switch. It is worth it. Do all the research you want to do. You're not going to find anything like this. This will help your farming operation and your family carry on to the next generation. I am confident of that.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm honored to be here.
Cool.